God damn, man. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Post Up, the 5 Reasons Sports post game show. You can call it whatever the fuck you want to tonight. I'm very disappointed because the Miami Heat just lost 89-85 to the Memphis Grizzlies. And like the loss felt inevitable and preventable all at the same time. Like it like the third quarter, we gave it what? It was like a 17-0 run.
Yep.
Like to end the quarter. And then we claw back into the game. We have the lead. We give up the lead. We have a chance to tie it. We don't use the timeout. Like when we clearly guarded the play. It's a play that we've seen over and over again. Tyler Johnson got a duck off of it. We've seen him use it in summer league. You know what play's coming. Like it was just, I don't know. Like it's hard to be mad at them for a loss after so many wins, and you understand that they're playing, the fifth game in 7 nights. So you understand how it is, but God damn, we could have won this game. So I want to make sure that I give credit to my guys, Jonathan Robinson, Gadiel Cartagena, and Ariel Latias. Oh, Ariel Latias.
They used to call me that when I was fat. That's terrible.
But yeah, thank you guys for having the guts. I feel like Greg Sylvander for joining us tonight. So I want to get you guys' thoughts on the game. Jonathan, we'll start with you.
Yeah, so like with the first half, we started off kind of slow. The ball really wasn't moving. Everybody was kind of sticking around. And we let Memphis get the lead. We were forcing them to make really easy passes in the corner, and they were just beating us with it. They made 5 threes in the first quarter, and I think the last game they only made like maybe less, 7 or 8. So they had a pretty good shooting in that first quarter. Later in that second quarter, that's when we started to pick it up a little more. The ball started to move. We went on that little run. I like what Bam was doing early in that first half. He was being aggressive on the boards. He was attacking the rim. He got 3 fouls from Jonas Valanciunas early. So although it was an ugly game in the first half, I still kind of liked what I saw in the first half. Now, getting to the third quarter, it started off like we were going to pull off from this game, right? Jimmy scored like 10 straight points. He was doing everything. And after Jimmy stopped scoring, this team like forgot how to play basketball. And Memphis went on a 17-0 run, and it felt like it was going to be one of those games that happened earlier in the season where we just stopped learning how to play offense. Now, fourth quarter came around, we let Memphis get a little bit bigger of a lead, and then we actually pulled close. Tyler Hero hit some big shots. Bam started to hit a couple early free throws in the quarter, so we came close. We got it to tied, and then just our decision making in those last couple of seconds, and that Tyler Hero turnover, 40 seconds left, really hurt us. Like you said, we didn't call a timeout when that last play didn't go as it should have been, and we lost the game we should have lost, but it felt like we could have squeezed out a win and kind of stole one on the road.
Yeah.
Can't be too mad. Like it's a bad game. We played like garbage. It was not fun to watch. I think the decision making of our guards is going to be a serious issue for this team for the foreseeable future, whether it's Goran, Hero, Duncan. At some point, you have to be able to look up at the thing that's in the middle of the court that kind of tells you how many fouls everybody has. I don't know if there's like a bonus light or something, but we were in the bonus with like 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter. And we just started to chuck threes and made it super easy to guard this team, because if the threes are falling, great, then it's going to be a good night for the Heat. But the threes have not been falling. Like, we have objectively been a really bad shooting team this season. I believe we're under 35% now, around like 34.5%. It was just ugly with all those times settling for 3. I was really upset with the way Goran played, not even offensively, which was not very great, but defensively, you just have to box out. You can't close games and not box out. He was just giving up board after board after board. I get it, he's 35, but you don't forget fundamentals as you get older, and that's what he did tonight. It was the fundamental part of basketball he was not doing. I was enthused by the way Hero played until that turnover. I thought he played well in the fourth quarter. He actually was one of our better players. So I want to give Hero credit there. But Iguodala probably helped a lot tonight. KO was in foul trouble. It was ugly. And Precious minutes, what was he, minus 17 in 10 minutes. I don't know how that happens, but it was ugly. It was ugly for Precious tonight.
Yeah, it happens.
We got a reason coming soon, though.
Yeah, it happens when your hands are fucking terrible. Like it felt like Precious couldn't get right at all tonight. I do think that the point that you brought up about Goran is very valid. You cannot give up 10, 11 rebounds to DeAnthony, Andre Drummond, fucking Melton out here, bro. Like, I don't know how this man grabbed so many rebounds tonight, bro. Like I'm trying not to.
Can I ask a question?
By all means.
And I'll say it because Goran gets his minutes in the fourth quarter. He's going to play at least 6 minutes in the fourth. But let's say maybe Goran plays 7 or 8 with 4.5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. If they put Kendrick Nunn in this game, do you think they win?
No. I mean, they got no help outside. Like, Jimmy Butler got nothing, bro. Like, it was Jimmy and nothing. Like,
nothing.
And that's kind of going to lead to my next question for you guys. Yeah. But go ahead, Ari. I want you to give your thoughts on the game.
No, I was just going to say I don't think that Kendrick Nunn makes a substantial difference there. He wasn't having a good game. He was like 2 of 10 from the field throughout the game. He had like 5 points. I mean, I don't feel like that's really the answer, but if I've got to give analysis on this shit show, I would basically just say that, I thought the Heat's defense for the majority of the game, or pretty much the entire game, save for one specific, period late in the third quarter, was really, really good. I thought, I liked how the Heat were really trying to cut off drives and collapsing in the paint. The Grizzlies were taking a ton of threes early on in this game. I liked what they did with Ja Morant for most of the game, where they were showing really hard on Ja's pick and rolls, or, like they would Bam would either switch or they would show extremely hard whenever there was a Ja pick and roll involved, and he would have to pass out of it. And so I liked actually the adjustment that Ja made, where the Grizzlies just started running ISO for Ja, and that's what keyed their run in the third quarter. The Heat couldn't make shit. It absolutely looked like the second night of a back-to-back. They've been pretty bad on second night of back-to-backs this season. I wish Bam would have taken Jonas Valanciunas off the dribble a little bit more and looked to be more aggressive with him, because when they play drop with JV, that midi is always there for Bam. But I will not, and I repeat, I will not tolerate any Kelly Olynyk slander tonight. My man was in foul trouble all night. He didn't have a real opportunity to get into the game.
Whose fault is that?
The Grizzlies' fault. They were just, they just played phenomenally well. They put themselves in proper positions.
They played well. They shot 30-something fucking percent, Ariel.
They were off.
They were just off. They were fucking terrible too. Like, this was a shit show of a game. Like,
damn it, bro. Let me push the agenda.
Okay, go ahead. By all means. Go ahead. Finish your.
My point is, what I'm trying to get at is, if Kelly Olynyk has a more solid and fundamental game defensively, the Heat win this game, because he's been on a tear lately, and I think he would have given them the jump that they needed.
He's been their second best player during this entire streak, and that's the problem, because we have our actual second best player on the goddamn floor. I think Ricky brought up a pretty good point, and he was talking about Bam's body language in the fourth. He was giving me real Hassan Whiteside vibes when he didn't get that ball in the post. Like, he was not doing shit out there on the floor. Like, I'm just being perfectly honest. I don't give a damn about his stat line. Like, when that game was close, Bam didn't give us shit. Michael, thank you for joining the post-game show. Please give us your portion on the game. I'm trying to keep it bottled, fellas, if y'all can't tell. Like, I'm trying.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't deserve this W at all. Like, no part of the game did they deserve the win. I mean, defensively, you can say they played all right. I mean, they let the Grizzlies shot poorly, but I think that was also because the Grizzlies just can't shoot from outside, and we let them take a lot of threes. So I'm not going to say that was really so much the Heat's defense. And offensively, Jimmy was tired there at the end. You could tell the ankle was bothering him a bit, because normally that fourth quarter is going to be when he steps up. And Tyler comes in, and he looks great. He hits that crazy three, drives to the basket. Yeah, he missed a couple and had a turnover, but without him, we're not back in the game. And then, I mean, nobody else was producing. We wouldn't even have been in that situation for the Morant layup if Goran doesn't get bailed out with the foul. So they just didn't deserve the win tonight. They looked like a flat team. It's the back-to-back. I mean, the sky isn't falling, but it sucks to watch them play so poorly as the competition starts to ramp up, because you've played some really bad teams lately.
Okay, so yeah, I agree with you 100%. Like, I want to try, and I'm really angry right now at the way that we played, but I'm trying to keep it in perspective compared to what I've seen as of late. And so I want to address a few things that's been going off in the comments about Bam. I think you guys are wrong if you say Bam isn't a max player. I think you're wrong if you say Bam is overpaid. I think you're wrong if you say trade Bam for anything. Like, I think you're wrong. That is not where I am with Bam. I have a high I expect this from Bam. So when I get anything less than that, it kind of rubs me the wrong way. So like we were talking about, Jimmy didn't get no help tonight from anybody. So you guys can pick a role player. Which one of them was most disappointing to you? Jonathan Romlicon, we'll start with you.
I think you'd probably have to say, Goran or Nunn, right? Goran really didn't give us that much tonight. Usually when he's not scoring, at least he's making some good passes. Goran really only made those 2 free throws at the end of the game, and that was his only production outside of everything else. He was pretty much useless all game. Like you said, he let D'Anthony Melton become a new member inductee to the random scrub heat killer, getting his first double-double. He got his first double-double against Miami in his career ever, right?
He had a good game against Miami last year too.
Exactly. He was the only guy this guy just only likes to play against Miami. So we have a new guy, thanks to Goran. So I think this is a loss that can be on Goran. And also to add on to that, Duncan really was off tonight, right? He just could not hit anything tonight. And if Duncan hits those 2 wide open threes in the fourth quarter, at least this is a closer game and we don't have to spend all of our energy in the last 2 minutes trying to catch up.
If he hits those, we win the game.
We win the game.
Well, let's not affect those with the 2 wide open threes he had, because there were at the beginning in the first half he didn't have a lot of wide open threes, right? What was it? Brooks was defending him. He was pretty close, but in that fourth quarter, I get it. His legs were gone, but Jesus, man, there's not a guy around you for 5 feet. Just hit something.
Yeah, I just want to jump in and say real quick, Jonathan, I think you make great points. You're one of the smartest dudes on here, but D'Anthony Melton is not a random scrub.
He's a great defender.
Dude,
absolutely not.
Hell of a defender. Okay. Yeah, he's a hell of a defender. That
13, 10, and 6 from a guy who you're describing as a great defender. I think those stats are going to put him in RSA. Well,
I think the 10 rebounds is what's getting him over the hump, Michael. He is 6'2". That is my he's not a big man. He's a little person who is out rebounding our big. The only person who had more rebounds than D'Anthony Melton on our team was Bam Adebayo. He out rebounded everybody else on our team. I'm sorry. It's Gad, your turn to talk about which scrub that you not scrub, which one of our role players that you want to talk about.
So scrub.
Yeah, you know who to slander. I know that Ariel's not gonna like it, but you gotta do it.
Fucking do it.
No, I'll let Ariel cover that one, honestly. I want to talk about Duncan, and obviously the shooting was off. It was a problem. I know, Jonathan, you kind of touched on it a little bit, but I just want to say that last possession of the game where Josh scored, it is a microcosm of everything that frustrates me defensively with Duncan Robinson, because he showed defensively. He showed the help 3 seconds early when Ja was at half court. And by the time Ja is coming back, he's already running back out to close on Kyle Anderson, who I would live with it if he hit a game-winning 3. I really would. I would rather that than Ja getting a really relatively easy for someone of his athleticism take at the rim. It was just so frustrating because he did the right thing. He second-guessed himself, and it literally cost the team the game. If he stays there, it's either a charge, Ja's turning it over, or he has to take a bad shot. And he didn't. He can't trust himself. He's not playable in late game. He isn't. He just isn't, because his legs get tired after 10 to 15 minutes of basketball. I understand that he's tired. He's running around like a madman, but you have to be able to play both ways. And you look at the teams that we're going to have to play in the playoffs, you have to be able to take advantage of opportunities that are going to be given to you. And he's missing open shots, second guessing himself defensively. It was bad. It was bad.
It's not that you can't play him late in games. If Duncan Robinson is not hitting shots, he's unplayable. If he's not making shots, then you cannot play him in the NBA. He's not an NBA player. So I want to thank Christian Carters for the $1.99 donut. He said, Gad's so angry. He using big words, microcosm.
That's a keyword.
Listen. I took AP Lang in high school. I'm qualified to use these words. I really am. I got a 3 out of 5 on my exam.
AP
I got college credit. So.
Okay. So Ariel, who is your role player that disappointed you the most tonight?
I'm gonna go with Kendrick Nunn. I know Jonathan mentioned his name, but that's the guy I've got to go with. I mean, I believe it's 9 of his last 10 games where he scored 13 points or less. He had one 24-point game against Atlanta. I feel like we bring this up almost every show now, but I feel like he's kind of got to show us a little something, because now we're going on about a 10-game stretch where he's struggled a little bit, and it's starting to concern me. I need to see Kendrick Nunn start making shots again, get a little bit of confidence back. I need to see him defend better, because I don't feel like that's been there over the last few games after a period where he showed some improvement on that end. But other than that, man, y'all are too goddamn negative on here, man. The Heat have won 11 of 13. This is the second night of a back-to-back against a team that does pose some problems, especially at the guard position against the Heat. And we're on here whining and bitching about this guy and that guy. Man, It's fine. It's a scheduled loss. The
Well,
Heat are
okay,
fine. They
hold
have
on.
reinforcements on the way, and they're a very good team. They figured things out. I don't think we take anything away from this game.
But have
Fuck
you
all
noticed
that.
that all of our scheduled losses are against teams hovering around 500 or above it? Every
The
time
Heat-
it's a quality opponent, we go into it. Oh, that's probably a scheduled loss. What are we going to do when we get to the playoffs and play above 500 teams? We're going to say, we got a couple scheduled losses.
Well, no,
there.
Michael,
I'm not
you
trying
guys taking it's 5 games in 7 nights. We had 2 back-to-backs.
I know, I
The Heat
understand.
just beat the Lakers, Jazz in this win streak. Like,
But
what are you talking about?
But
They can
Ariel,
beat good teams.
don't act like I didn't give it its proper context. I said that earlier in the show. That
No,
this-
you did. Michael
Yeah.
did. That's all I'm saying.
No,
Of
time
course
out.
not.
From Michael
Time out.
Well, of course
Mostly,
not.
but I framed it
Of
as
course not.
everyone.
We
No,
all
no,
know
no.
Michael misses.
I don't
the bigger
believe in
picture
context.
most of the
I
time.
don't believe in context.
No.
Context is useless. Okay, what was that? Another AP Lang word in context? Get out of here. But look,
Grand assumptions is what
Yeah.
Michael does.
get out of here. But this is all I'm saying. I understand we shouldn't overreact to this loss. I said that when I was talking about my guys, when I was giving my reaction to the game. But all I'm saying is, if we're not going to overreact to the loss, let's also not overreact to the wins we get against really bad teams.
Fair.
That's all I'm saying. It's good that we're getting them, but we've seen these things happen where if Jimmy's not hitting, we've got absolutely nothing else.
Oh,
And
we
these
know
are the
they're a
things
bad
that keep
offensive
coming
team.
up. So it's like, I'm tired of seeing them because you're talking about role players that aren't doing anything. Precious out there on the floor is becoming a liability, man.
Mhm.
I can't do it. I can't do it. He was out there and that lineup had zero defense from anybody. It was bad. I hated watching him on the floor. So it's like, is Precious unplayable now?
Well, he makes atrocious decisions. Like when he grabs rebounds, that dude thinks that he has to get that ball back on the rim within a half second, and he gets blocked more than almost any big that I can think of in Heat history because
He's
he
like
just doesn't.
6'5".
Yeah, he plays like he's fucking PJ Tucker under the basket. Like I think he needs to be a little bit smarter and look to. He's getting that Hassan Whiteside syndrome where every rebound has to go right back up immediately. Like survey the floor. If there's a bigger dude on you, then maybe look to kick it out for the three because someone's probably open.
Have we slandered Ethan for the whole Precious hands thing yet? I just want to know if we've touched base on that tonight because
We tend to poke at that throughout. Like that's an everlasting joke, so we can always make that case. One of the guys who I wanted to get to was KZ Okpala. Like we all bought KZ Okpala stock yesterday. Today, do you guys still feel good about that stock? I mean, he played 21 minutes, didn't make a shot, but I don't know. I felt like he played better than Precious. Like
That's a low bar.
I'm saying it's a low bar, but I'm just saying for somebody who didn't do anything, I felt KZ had some good stretches in this game. Jonathan, am I going crazy, or did you see the same thing?
No, there was definitely a little bit there, right? It definitely looked like he was a little more uncomfortable. He was a little more lost. Not seeing Andre Iguodala tonight, it looked like he lost his mentor on the court because when him and Iggy are on the floor at the same time, they really gel together. So without Iggy, he kind of looked a little more lost on the floor. He wasn't making the right reads all the time, but I like the looks he was getting. I like that crazy block, like in that fourth quarter on Jonas Valanciunas. So yeah, he didn't make as big of an impact as
Check
normal.
the boy name. Check the boy name.
Block Paula. I gotta put some respect on
Chikezi
that.
Block Paula, baby.
he also, let's not forget when John Morant put him on his ass too, though. That was
Michael,
I'm just saying,
Nobody saw that.
That did not
happen.
happen. It did not happen. I never saw it.
I felt so bad.
What else didn't we
Sitting
see,
straight up.
Ariel? We didn't see something else too.
We did not see DeAnthony Melton yam all over Bam's foot.
No,
It's not a
no,
block.
we-
It's a failed chase down. It's not you're not dunking on somebody on a failed chase down block.
No,
That's
we
not
did
a post.
We did not see that. But I think we did talk bad about Kendrick Nunn. But to be honest, I think Kendrick Nunn played okay defensively.
I didn't think he played that poorly.
Yeah, I'm trying to
slow. He
Go ahead,
started slow. I didn't think he played that bad.
Like I think defensively is where his impact was felt the most, which has been the reason why I felt this way about Kendrick Nunn. Now, don't get me wrong, right name, but I mean, in terms of what he's been giving us on the court, like, I've been okay with it. SRT Dre, listen, I completely disagree with what you're talking about, but I'm going to read the donut because you gave it. He said trade Bam for Vucevic. I would never. Okay, that's not happening. That's not happening. But I think we were talking about Kendrick Nunn. Gad, I kind of want you to expand on why you think he had such a good game, especially for what he was doing defensively.
Repeat that one time. It kind of like went in and out.
Yeah, Kendrick Nunn. I want you to just talk about his game.
He started slow, like the threes weren't going early, and his offense or his shooting put us in a bit of a hole early, and then we got right out of it. And he plays with energy. He plays a little bit of bounce Obviously, the shot was not falling, but he still had a few points and 5 points, I think? 5 points, plus 11. So, like, there are games where you can blame Kendrick. I don't think this is one of them. Kendrick, honestly, his defense was decent to me. I thought he did a good job on Ja, and then once they put Goran on Ja is when the game was blown out of the water.
Could there have been a case made for Kendrick closing over Goran tonight?
That's what I'm saying. I think if Nunn plays the last 4.5 minutes of this game, he boxes out. He had 6 rebounds in this game, right? Am I reading that correctly?
Yep.
Yeah.
6 rebounds, 3 assists. I mean, he played better than Goran. I think we're blaming the wrong person if we blame Nunn. Like, he was not the reason why we lost this game. Did he play fantastic on offense? No, but the defense and the floor game was still there, kind of the way it has been over the last few games. The floor is just not as low as it used to be with Nunn. So I think he gets a pass in terms of blame for tonight. Like, I really don't think he played that poorly. I thought he did fine defensively, and the shots, I mean, everybody missed shots tonight.
So I actually do have a positive from tonight's game, I guess, if you want to call it that. And I'm going to talk about Max Strus. Ramlakan, like, Strus came in there. He gave us a little bit of life in his minutes. I mean, he hit his shots, made some threes, a couple of threes. Talk about what you liked about what you saw from Strus.
Yeah, I mean, he came in like a pinch shooter. You know what I mean? Like, instead of having a pinch hitter, he was like a pinch shooter. He came in, he hit that 3. He drew the charge on the fast break. He made 2 cutting layups. He cut twice, one from Jimmy, one from Nunn. So he was doing a lot of everything, and he was giving energy to the ball, right? So he came on the floor. He locked up Ja for a possession, right? And he gave energy to the ball, and that just seemed to transfer. And when he was on the floor in the second quarter, that's when we seemed to actually turn this game around and get the ball moving and get everything flowing in that second quarter. So, Spo probably used him just because it's the second night of a back-to-back, and we probably won't see much of him in the future. But I did like what I saw from him because he gave us energy offensively and even a little bit defensively, drawing the charge and locking up Ja.
So I want to thank SRT Dre for the 199. Don't know. He said Goran let trade rumors get to him. Look, I mean, I don't honestly think that there was one trade rumor that anybody believed with involving Goran Dragic. He's not going anywhere. Like, that's not a thing for real. You know what I mean? Like, leave that where it is or wherever it died. But
can I say about Strus real quick? What really shocked me and I thought was great? The dude hadn't played since March 2nd. That was 15 days ago. He comes in and within the first minute of him being on the court, he touches the ball once, immediately shoots it.
Oh,
that's the kind of confidence I love. I love that. Just do it.
About that.
Let it go.
About that. Christian Carter, thank you for the 199. Don't know. He said, y'all seen what Precious becomes in 2K? Monstrous. Listen,
86 overall in 2023 every time.
I trade him by the trade deadline every single time. I never get that far.
Year 1, he's gone,
bro.
bro. He's gone. He's in a package for Victor Oladipo as we speak.
Maybe
get into existence.
I'm with it.
Right.
That's my 2K package. I don't know what y'all talking about.
You do it in real life too, though.
Hey, bro. Okay, that's
I'll leave
what we talk
it
about
for next week.
Let's talk about the game.
We're not gonna make it.
Let's talk about the game. No, we're not. We're gonna have to make an emergency episode.
Jonathan's got that Ethernet.
You know it. So here's a person that we don't normally get to on the show. Spo. In a game this close, Spo has to be held to blame. I believe Spo takes part of this blame pie. So Ariel, where do you fall on what Spo could have done, or where you believe Spo's role is in this loss?
I thought he coached a really good game, man. I got to be honest with you. Like, I had mentioned this earlier, but I thought that early in the game, the Heat scheme was to try to cut off drives, dig at ball handlers who were trying to get into the paint and have them spray out because they couldn't get that penetration to the rim. And that's what you do with a team that's not a particularly good 3-point shooting team. And the Grizzlies were missing a lot of them early. It just so happens that the Heat offense was absolute shit and they couldn't make anything for basically for the whole game. And so if that's if you get a baseline level game from the Heat offensively, this is an easy win. With Ja Morant, the game plan was to show on every pick and roll and he just made the adjustment to start going ISO every single time. So unless you're going to put Jimmy Butler on Ja Morant for long stretches in the game, I don't really know that the Heat have a counter to that. So I don't think that Spo coached a bad game. I just feel like it was just a tough night to get a win. The writing was on the wall, and that's where I'm at with it.
Respectfully, I disagree. With Spo, it's X's and O's. They're always right. That's not where Spo's misgivings are. Spo's misgivings are with game management and feels in the game, substitution patterns, when to call timeouts and stuff like that. Those are things that people have notoriously complained about with Spo. And I believe tonight is a prime example. That last possession, you don't leave it up to Bam to call that timeout. You see it from the sideline. You call the goddamn timeout. Michael, I saw you were disagreeing too. Where were you on Spo's game then?
No, I actually disagree with you a little bit. It's destroying me inside, but I'm agreeing with Ariel.
I don't
just
care.
because just because like, and this is what I'm saying. I feel like if Duncan's shots fall, if they shoot even slightly better than they did, just a little bit closer to their average, I don't think we look to blame. So I do agree with you. Having Goran instead of Nunn at the end was a bad decision. It felt like when we played the Hawks and they had that great defense on Trey, and then it just kind of went away in the second half, and it was like, what happened? We had a great plan and you just kind of went away from it. But aside from that, I think if the shots fall, there's a reason why he had guys like Duncan in there, because they were getting the shots, and usually they're more likely to hit them than someone like Kendrick Nunn. It just ended up not falling. So I don't put Spo too high on the list. That's all I'm saying. I blame him, but he's a little bit lower than a lot of the guys who just played atrocious.
So because we don't normally talk about Spo, I want to give everybody a chance to chime in on it. Ramlakan, where were you on Spo's game tonight?
Yeah, earlier in the night, I kind of liked what we were doing. Right, we were trapping Ja. We were doing the right things. We just did some things good early. But when it came down to late game execution, there was a couple things that I didn't like. First of all, like you said, not calling that timeout when Bam is trying to throw the lob to Jimmy when he's clearly sealed and he doesn't have a path to the rim, and he has a bad ankle on the second night of a back-to-back. Right,
and he has Kyle Anderson, who's like 6'9" on him.
Exactly, he's like new age Boris Diaw. Right, so he's coming in and. Like you said, he should have called that timeout. But even before that, right, when we had Goran, Hero, and Duncan, I think, closing, like we shouldn't have those guys closing on the defensive end. Use one of those timeouts if you need to stop, right? Change something up, get KZ in there, get somebody else in there that can defend, right? So that way we can at least get the defensive rebound. Because if we get that defensive rebound, at least we don't have to worry about going down 2 with 10 seconds to go, right? So there was a couple things that Spo did that I really didn't like. And like you said, it's not the whole game, right? The whole game isn't his fault, but these decisions at the end of the game that he misses just a little bit by not making the substitution or not calling the timeout, taking the charge over Bam, that's what really lost us the game. And that's kind of Coach Spo definitely has a little bit to do of losing this game with the late game decision making. Okay,
so I want to get to Gad, and then I want to address Manny's comment. So Gad, where were you on Spo tonight?
Like, he definitely deserves a piece of the blame for sure. Like, in the third quarter, you do not let that 17-0 run happen. I don't believe they took a timeout. I don't think they took a timeout in that stretch. That was a big issue. And then after that, I mean, obviously in the fourth quarter, I think Nunn should have been in there. I think his energy was on par. And if the shot's not falling for Goran and the shot's not falling for Nunn, Nunn was playing better tonight. And that's really what it boils down to. I thought Goran played too much in the second half. And like I think it was Michael that made the point, if we hit our shots like normal, I believe Memphis also shot poorly. Like this was just an anomaly game for both teams from a shooting perspective. Yep. But there was just some decisions that you wish you could have back. I think Spo should be a little bit more loose with the timeouts, especially. Let him rip. Like there's no incentive to end the game with 2 timeouts.
Yeah, there was the 2 timeouts with like 8 seconds left, and he didn't take it. And I'm like, dude, You've got 2.
But he called a timeout with 0.6 seconds left.
Yeah, that was
down 4.
Well, because at that point he had it. There's 0.6 seconds left, but when there's 2 with 8 seconds left, I'm gonna hold on.
What the flying fuck are you gonna do with 0.6 seconds left in the game, bro? I want to acknowledge. I want to talk about what Manny said though. Manny said y'all want to blame Spo, but yet your max player is one that messed up and froze. Listen, this is the only rebuttal that I have to that, Manny. Bam Adebayo is in his 4th NBA season. Eric Spoelstra won a championship before Bam Adebayo was in the league. You can never absolve Spo of blame. Like he can't be. He's the coach. Like he has to take part in blame. We just don't do it very often because he's one of the best coaches in the league. So, I don't want to keep us long tonight because we on the second night. Yeah, get your ass in here too, Manny. What's up?
Yeah, man. It just listen. I understand it. Did Spo mess up there? Absolutely. But you know how many times star players or so-called star players got to make smarter plays down the stretch?
Wait a minute now. When you putting those quotes around it, you talk about Bam Adebayo?
Yeah, because he's on a max player, but on this team, he's supposed to make those plays, right? So if you're not good at a certain subject, right, and there's under 10 seconds to go, and coach puts you in that position, I mean, don't you speak up a bit? Nah, coach, I shouldn't be here, right? Like, I would think Bam would say, no, wait a minute. This doesn't seem right. Like, I've been in this position before, and it's never worked. So why am I in this position now, right? And then it happens. And it's like, well, it's Paul's fault. But at some point, Bam got to speak up, man.
No,
Bam do what he got to do.
And we don't know that. We don't know for sure that he didn't. Like, we don't know what happened in the.
Manny, come back because I want to ask you how much, like, what percentage of the blame would you give Spo? Like, are you saying is it on Bam entirely? Like, what percentage? Don't hide your ass in the background. Get back out here. You know how to put yourself on the screen.
He's getting in the spot. I'm watching him. He's getting in the spot.
Yes, sir.
I listen, I'd say it's 50-50. I'd say it's 50-50.
So 50% Spo, 50%
Listen, it's a game on the back-to-back where you flew overnight. But again, that's no excuse, right? I mean, these guys get paid for situations like this. It just feels like, once again, we were let down because what happened in the third. It's basically the way that we've been all season, right? Let's forget the winning streak. Third quarter has never changed. Down the stretch, if Jimmy doesn't create and score, there's not, the percentages of winning a basketball game aren't that high, right? So I just feel like tonight the blame should be 50-50 because in a sense, you had opportunities to win where Tyler Hero has a turnover, and then the Bam situation. Should have Spo called the timeout? Absolutely. To me, it's just, it's 50-50. I don't blame Spo for the full thing. It just feels like it's a mental team loss to me. It's a mental team loss from top to bottom. It's a mental team loss.
Absolutely. If it's a mental team loss, then you blame the coach. So, so I think we're gonna wrap it up tonight because we are also on the second night of a back-to-back. So let's talk about the next game. Who do we play next on Friday?
Pacers, Indiana.
The Pacers. We played them 2 times back again. So guys, really quickly, does Miami win against the Pacers? I'll start with you, Michael.
Yes. I'm just gonna keep it simple. Yes.
Fabulous. Jonathan?
If Jimmy's healthy, yes.
That's an interesting twist because we don't know that. Gat?
Yes. Iggy, Ariza. Trevor Ariza in town.
Hi.
I'm ready. The bench is going to play much better than they did tonight.
To be honest, Trevor Ariza would have been useful tonight with Kelly Olynyk not playing. Like you could have slotted him in there, gave him all of KZ's 21 minutes, and he probably could have found a way to be productive. Ariel?
Trevor Ariza comes in, heat switch everything. Kelly Olynyk has a exceptional game, just kills it, and the Heat win 105-95.
Ariel, the narrative, man.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm a little disheartened by what I saw tonight, just being perfectly honest. But my prediction will remain the same. The Heat finna blow that shit out, just being perfectly honest with you. The Heat win by 20. What's up?
So one thing to put everything in perspective, the good thing is, right, the Celtics lost, the Hornets lost, the Pacers lost.
Yeah, everybody lost.
Toronto lost. So we didn't really lose
fine.
any ground in the playoffs, right? So that at least that's a positive takeaway, is that we didn't lose any ground coming on the playoff race.
No, but we also missed an opportunity to
gain,
to gain a little bit of ground too. Like, so it's like it's tough. So y'all know what time it is. Time to pay the bills. Ariel.
Yes, sir.
You get to pay our primary sponsor, Biscayne Bay Brewing, tonight, man.
Biscayne Bay Brewing, they make the absolute best beer that money can buy. You can get it almost anywhere in South Florida. If you want to find out where to get it, you want to visit www.biscaynebaybrewing.com. They are the longest sponsor of the 5 Reasons Sports Network. They also sponsor the Miami Marlins. And you can try the Tropical Bay IPA. I think they have one called the Marlins Lager. I'm not 100% on that, but I've heard it's really, really good. So check it out, BiscayneBayBrewing.com.
Yeah, you get to pay Miami Grill.
Put up the script. There we go. All right. Miami Grill. We bring Miami to the table. If you're craving it, we're making it, except Goron. We serve the best of everything from everywhere. Cheesesteaks, Greek gyros, chicken wings, and everything in between. You're always craving something from Miami. Order online. It's probably good. Try it.
It's definitely good. What? All right. I'll do prize picks tonight. So if you guys want to win some easy money, go to prizepicks.com, use the promo code 5. You'll get a donation match up to $100. It's really, really easy to play this game. Just being honest, you just pick the over under on stats. You can do individual stats. You can do game line stats.
Who are you
whatever.
taking on Friday?
I'm sorry?
Who are you taking on Friday for prize picks?
Bro, I've been taking Jimmy Butler for like 3 weeks straight, and I have not missed at all. So I'm taking Jimmy Butler probably for the over, and depending on where they have the line at on Bam, I'll probably go with him too. I usually pick the over on both of those guys, and they usually don't fail me. So go to prizepicks.com, use the promo code 5, and then, yeah, that'll be good for your pocketbooks. Jonathan Ramadan, you paid this bill a little bit early, but now that we've started the rollout, I'll let you pay Vertigear.
Yeah, so we have these lovely new cheers here, right? It took me like 15 minutes to put it all together. It was really super easy. And Ethan took like 6 days to do it, but everybody else in the network took like 15 minutes to do it. So it was super easy. Honestly, this is my first gaming chair, but the chair I sat on before, I couldn't move because if I moved, I was going to squeak. So it's a really good chair. It has a really nice base. Like you said, it has Miami Heat colors, right? How could you not like the Miami Heat colors? Like,
I got Miami Heat colors too.
Look, he got Miami Heat insignia on his. So you can get yours, right? So go to vertigear.com. They have a bunch of different selections. You can choose based on your height, your weight, however based. So it'll fit your body type perfectly. It's an awesome, like we said, it's a brand new sponsor for us. They feel great. Best gaming chair that you could ever get. And go ahead and click on the affiliate link. I think we'll have that in the description below.
Yeah, the affiliate link will be in the description. This is the Vertigear website. They have a chair building tool. You put in your height, your weight, and then they tell you pretty much which chair is perfect for you. Jonathan, which chair are you sitting in? Because I'm sitting in the PL 1000.
I think I'm using the SL 200.
Man, y'all look comfortable. Gad and I are here sitting on stools, wooden stools.
Hey, listen, man. You know what I mean? You too will be in your Vertigear. Once you get, look at that, branded.
Dude.
So, okay. That's lovely. So, Jonathan, what's happening with Fight Week on 5?
Yeah, Fight Week on 5. We tomorrow. That's going to be tomorrow, probably around 9:00. So we'll get the schedule. But this Saturday, we're going to have walkouts and knockouts. Me and Ariel are going to preview the fight that's in the middleweight division. Kevin Holland, probably the next up and coming star, right? He talks shit in the ring. It's fun to watch him fight. So we're going to break down that main card. We're going to give you.
We're going to give you fight picks.
Ariel does a really good job breaking down the fundamentals and the technicalities of it, and we make it really fun. So come check us out on Saturday at 4:00. Walkouts and knockouts with Ariel and I.
Oh, so back to the Vertigear thing. I'm sorry, before I let you guys talk about the shoot around. With this chair, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but you're starting to see the 5 Reasons Sports people, like personalities, start to roll this out. So you saw Ethan show his chair. You saw, and then he called out Alana. So Alana made a video for her chair. She called out Alex Toledo, and he made a post about his chair. And Alex decided to call your boy out. Okay, so tomorrow, y'all make sure y'all look out for my production, bro. The boy has something special for y'all and for Vertigear. Everybody should love it. But Ariel and Gad, y'all make sure y'all talk out the shoot around, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, we're pretty much just in 140 seconds or less, we're telling you what to kind of expect from the Heat games. I believe tonight I said I wanted to see an aggressive Bam Adebayo. Saw it in the first half, faded away in the second half, and ultimately didn't win the game. But we kind of acknowledge that this could be a scheduled loss in terms of we've played 5 out of 7 of the previous nights. It's the tail end of a back-to-back on the road. The Heat are going to be fine, and we're kind of going to address that in the next shoot-around on Friday. But you definitely want to start stacking wins when you can. So see what we're going to predict on Friday. Should be a good game against the Pacers, and we will definitely get you prepared to watch that game, see kind of what to expect before we play, or before the Heat play the game.
Yep. So great job, fellas. The next clutch corner, I have no idea. But I'm pretty sure they started talking about doing something for the trade deadline. So be on the lookout. Special. Yeah, the trade deadline special. So be on the lookout for that. A lot of personalities will be jumping in and out of that stream. Should be kind of like the Dolphin stream that they had today. The Dolphin stream, it was really good. Like, to be honest, I got Michael was on there. They had Alfredo Arteaga, Kai Chan Chisholm, Lewis Song was on there. Jock was on there. CK was on there. I think that was all the people I watched for a long time, to be perfectly honest with you. But but yeah, so you guys, if you missed that, make sure you go back and you check that out. So
Again, for my guy Michael, who just left, Jonathan, Gad, Ariel, I'm the host, Roy A. Shepherd. Thank you guys for joining us in the comments, making the show better than what it could have been. Thank you for joining the network. Make sure you like, subscribe to the channel, share the video with your friends or whatever, and we'll see you guys next game. Peace.